Welcome to the first edition of the 2010 Prodrift video podcast, coming from round one of the Prodrift Ireland series, Fermoy, Cork. Following a long off-season, Prodrift was back for 2010 in front of a packed house at the Cork venue, and thousands of Irish drift fans were eagerly awaiting the first Prodrift battle of the new year. Taking place on a custom-built course, Fermoy would test the capabilities of these new teams and challenge the drivers on a brand new layout. Following morning practice, drivers prepared for the first Superlap qualification of the season. Pro-class rookie Mike Fitzgerald was the first driver to enjoy a prolonged stay in the hot seat before he was unseated by Shane O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan remained until Nigel Colfer delivered a better lap of the course, but almost immediately the Wexford driver was defeated by the eventual winner of pole position, local 18-year-old James Dean, driving the Nexen Mazda RX-7. As the crowd enjoyed some half-time entertainment and passenger rides, the Prodrift Elite were preparing to battle in front of a capacity audience for the first time in 2010. James Dean continued his excellent form, defeating Conor Lenihan. John Paul McCarthy, driving a borrowed car, was beaten by non-seeded graduate Michael Sheehan, and the Bridgestone Nissan of Mike Fitzgerald moved on to the Great Eight following this victory over Donal Gary. Darren McNamara was unable to control his heavily damaged Corolla, meaning Shane O'Sullivan would move on to the top 8. New to Team Nexen, Christy Carpenter couldn't hold off the 2009 champion, and Mike Dean moved on. Alan Sinnott, driving his new-look Hankook Toyota Corolla, was also advancing following this victory over Dan Moorhead. Sinnott's Hankook teammate Alan Lenihan also progressed following this friendly nudge from up-and-coming rookie Kevin O'Connell. Nigel Colfer took the final top 8 position following this victory over Gavin Lenihan. Kicking off the Great 8, mechanical problems for Michael Sheehan handed an easy passage to the semi-finals to James Dean. Shane O'Sullivan ended Mike Fitzgerald's day, the Bridgestone Nissan unable to match O'Sullivan's pace. Following a sudden death battle, Hankook's Alan Sinnott knocked out reigning champion Mike Dean in his Silverstone S13. Alan Lenihan couldn't match the performance of his Hankook teammate and exited the competition following defeat to an in-form Nigel Colfer. The first semi-final saw James Dean defeat the Elite Autos Nissan of Shane O'Sullivan. The local Nexen driver moved into the round 1 final. Dean was joined in the final by Wexford's Nigel Colfer. The Toyota-powered Nissan had too much pace for Hankook's Alan Sinnott. Battling for the remaining podium position, Shane O'Sullivan pushed too hard in a sudden death battle, handing the third place trophy to Alan Sinnott. And so to the Fermoy final, Dean versus Colfer. Top qualifier Dean had looked unstoppable all day, and following 2 blistering passes of the Fermoy course, Colfer was unable to match his younger opponent. James Dean took a unanimous victory from the Prodrift judges, and with it the maximum championship points from the Prodrift season opener.
I struggled on Saturday practicing here. I found the car a lot different to the S15. We made a few changes this morning and it made a big difference.
Last year was a full development year really with the car. I got so many issues with it, and in the off season there, anything that went wrong last year, fixed and changed. Everything just seems to really come together now, and I'm really happy with the car, and it should be on form for the year hopefully.
Yeah, at the end of last year they're always making changes to the car and trying it again, and just fairly happy with it there now. It's working well for me. Looking forward to Punchdown. It's close to home, so hopefully it should go well.
From Fermoy, the Prodrift Series heads to the renowned Punchestown racecourse on May 30th for what promises to be an unmissable weekend of drifting competition. For all Prodrift information, you can check out prodriftseries.com.